Hello, welcome, welcome. You are in the right place. As I wait for everyone to get in, I'm just going to make sure my mic and screens are what they need to be. Come on in. People still coming in. All right. As you get into the Zoom room, there is a chat box at the bottom, and there should be a Q&A box. And if there is, yes, there is also a Q&A box. I don't mind where you put your questions. I'll see either one. So as you have questions that come up during the series, our 3 days together, you can put them in the chat or the Q&A at any time. And I will most likely wait until the end to answer questions, just because if I'm in the thick of presenting, sometimes I don't see the questions right away. So I'll make sure that every day at the end, I answer any question that you put in there. And I think that's about it. So tonight we're starting, well, we start at 6:30 every evening, today, Wednesday, and Thursday. I highly encourage you to make sure to show up for every single one because each one builds on top of each other and each one has important information that you're going to want to know for your health and your weight loss and your hormones after 35. So make sure to come back each evening. The replay, if you're here live today, but you can't come live tomorrow, the replay will be sent after the class ends. It usually takes me an hour or two to download and re-upload and get the email out, but it will be out. There's also a private podcast. You can listen to the replay if you love listening to audio versus watching a video. Personally, I love podcasts, and that's how I listen to almost everything. So there is a private podcast as well, and I will put that information in the replay email tonight so you can access it. There's also a Facebook group for community, and you can join that at any point as well. There is a little extra prize for those of you that are in the Facebook group. Because every evening we will be doing a giveaway. And if you're in the Facebook group, you get an extra giveaway. So if you're in the Facebook group, you get an opportunity to partake in that as well. Plus, it's nice to hear the conversation, get a little bit more support, and hear questions and answers and whatnot in the Facebook community as well, because I can be in there throughout the week as well. So that being said, all right, I think I'm watching my participant number go if it's staying or if we keep going up. But that being said, let's get started because it's 6:32. And also my goal is to actually have you out of each evening in less than an hour. And if I can do it even sooner, like 45 minutes, that's a win for me. My goal is to not take up your time, but rather make sure we're very efficient with your time and your energy. Because I know that if you weren't here, you would be doing something else. And so I thank you for spending your time with me each evening this week. And my gift back to you is to make sure to be concise and to give you exactly what you need and nothing more so that you can leave with total clarity and without overwhelm. Because with overwhelm, what do we do with that? We do nothing. So the intention this week, I want you to know that whenever I say weight loss, I really mean fat loss. It's easy for it to roll off the tongue as in weight loss because I'm a 90s baby. Well, I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the 90s and it was all about weight loss. And guess what? That's just like the pattern that has been ingrained into my brain. But know that whenever I say weight, I always mean fat because we want to make sure that we're not losing just any weight off of our body. We're just losing the body fat that we no longer need or want on our body. And also, this isn't just about fat loss or weight loss. It's really about getting your life and your energy back because everything I'll share in this series is going to be rooted in truth and not trends. You can find a trend anywhere online. I'm going to give you the raw truth. And I'm not here to sugarcoat things or to give you any fluff. Some of what I say might feel uncomfortable, but it's the kind of uncomfortable that leads to freedom. because this isn't about just the weight. It's about coming home to your body. It's about energy that lasts, confidence that's real, and the kind of self trust that no number on the scale can give you. I'm going to speak plainly and I'm going to speak from love because everything I teach is something I have had to learn with myself. It's honesty, it's compassion, it's self love, and it's full ownership. And this week, I'm going to reveal why everything you've tried for fat loss after 35 has failed you, and it's not actually your fault. You'll discover what I teach works specifically for weight gain slash lack of weight loss and energy and midlife women. And even if nothing has ever worked for you before, that is where my work shines, is that people who have tried everything, then I come in and I show them this is actually how you do it. And in this 3 days, I'll show you why the advice you've been following is scientifically wrong for your body after 35, and the 3-part framework that's helped hundreds of clients lose 10 and 50 plus pounds by working with their body and not against it. But remember, this isn't just about weight, because I want you to remember one very incredibly important thing is that what you think you want is weight loss. But what you actually want is to feel like yourself again, confident in your clothes, steady in your energy, calm around food, and safe in your body. What I teach works without all or nothing rules, extreme restriction, or living off limits. Because guess what? That's not sustainable, and it's also not necessary. All right, let me share my screen before I forget. Oh, where is my share button? Share my screen. Where is it? There we go. All right. And if you just want to let me know in the comments if you can see the screen. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, hello. Oh, I see some names I know. It's so, I mean, I'll be honest, I love doing these, but it's very lonely over here on the other side of the screen because it's just me and I see numbers, but I don't see faces on the webinars. So thank you. Okay, great. Let's get started, shall we? Okay. Remember this week that this is a safe space. You've likely been told again and again that if you just had more discipline or a body that looked smaller, you'd finally feel good. And I want you to know that that's not true. You are not the problem. You've simply been following systems that were never built for women in midlife, never built for the rhythm of your hormones, your stress load, or your lived experience. You've been taught that health means having a small body and that eating less and exercising more is the only way to achieve it. But also remember that a small body does not equal health. Your body is not broken, it's simply adapted. Your hormones have shifted and your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do: protect you. That's why the old rules have stopped working and why it's not your fault. This week, you'll finally understand what does work and how to work with your body and no longer against it. This isn't just about weight or fat loss. It's about everything you've been waiting to feel once you get there. Once you finally get there, right? You're thinking confidence, peace, zipping my jeans up, freedom. Those are feelings that you want to have in your body. And I want you to start envisioning that those things can start now. And what if this truly is inevitable? So here's what to expect over the next 3 days. We're going to go deep, but in a way that's doable and actually makes sense for your body and your life. Today, we're going to talk about nutrition in a way that works with your hormones and why eating less and working out more hasn't been working and what to do instead. Tomorrow, we're going to shift into circadian rhythm because that's incredibly important for your hormones. We're going to talk about the sun, metabolism, energy, sleep, and your mood. And then on Thursday, we'll close with the one piece that makes everything click. It's your mindset. And this is where we're going to break the cycle of chasing weight loss and start creating the life you want to live in and not escape from. So here's how to get the most out of our time together. Show up live when you can, right? So maybe you're listening to the replay on what day is it? On Wednesday morning, but you can come live Wednesday. Come live Wednesday. I will always say that the live version hits just a little bit sweeter and you can feel the energy just a little bit more. But that being said, if you can't come live, then watch the replay. Stay present, take notes, get your phone out and make notes in your note thing. Things that I say that really hit. It's really easy to forget it as soon as we go offline. And I want you to be able to come back to the things that make a lot of sense for you. And you're like, oh my gosh, like you get that aha moment, like you feel it in your body. I want you to put those things into your phone so you can always go back to them and relive that experience and re-feel it. And make sure to ask any questions. You can reach out to me anytime. You can use the Zoom chat here. You can post in the Facebook group or just send a reply to any email I send you. I see them all. I'll reply back to you. And also, we have some daily prizes because prizes are fun and keep you interested and engaged. And so if you're here live, make sure to stick around until the end. And I will have a comment for you to drop in the comments. And then I will draw a winner the next day. I will announce the winner that you will get a one-on-one weight loss audit with me. And then in the Facebook group, I will have a prompt for you every day. And I'm doing a $25 gift card when you participate in the prompt. Let's see here. Where am I? Okay. And so I want you to remember that this isn't just about information this week. This is about transformation. And that starts when you show up and when you reflect on what you've learned and what you share. So let's get started. Does this sound like you, or does this feel familiar when I say these things? You eat clean or you quote unquote eat pretty good. I hear that all the time, but your body doesn't look or feel like it. You do everything right, but the scale climbs anyway. You're sure that losing 5 to 10 pounds will change everything. So you restrict, you burn out, and then you gain 5 pounds more. You have a great Monday, but you inevitably crash by Thursday. And you're buying TikTok supplements and following what influencers say because they said you should, and you only end up with more money down the toilet. And you often think, I know what to do, I just don't do it. So when I say those things and you're like, oh, that's me, if it stings a little, it's only because it's true. And if we don't acknowledge what's true, we can't really change anything. And I also want you to know that you're not alone. I have over 400 people registered for this. And last time I looked at how many people were here, there's 47 women that are here. And so if you resonated with anything that I just said, let the other women on the Zoom know that they're not alone by saying, that's me, or telling me, what was it that I just said that feels like that's familiar? That's definitely me. You've tried all the things. You've cut carbs, you've cut calories, you've gone vegan. You tried to clean up everything in your diet. Maybe you tried something like low FODMAP or maybe super high protein, or you cut out all the alcohol. You did cardio and then no cardio because I'm confused. What is cardio anymore? And then you did some hits because maybe you are supposed to do cardio. And then you do nothing at all because you're just so tired. And even when you're doing everything right, you're still gaining weight. You've maybe skipped vacations or become very anxious about vacations. You've canceled dinner plans, turned down dessert with your kids, not because you don't want to live your life, but because you're scared it'll undo everything. And you feel like you just need military level discipline just to maintain. And even then, your body still doesn't respond. You're not crazy. You haven't lost your mind. You're not broken. You've simply been following models that ignore how a woman's body works after 35. And that stops now. I want you to start shifting the story that you've been telling yourself. that maybe you are lazy. Have you said that to yourself? Or that you're undisciplined? You're not any of those things. You're just using intense effort and strategies that actually ignore your biology. And your body, it's not the enemy. It's simply protecting you from stress, starvation, and overload because your body loves you unconditionally. Your body is taking responsibility for keeping you alive and safe. But that protection, what that looks like is weight gain, fatigue, cravings, anxiety, because it's trying to get your attention. So, what you end up doing because you think all of these things are wrong is that you double down, you restrict more, you work out harder, you blame yourself, and you might lose 2 pounds. But then you go out for a weekend, an evening meal with your girlfriends, and you have a cocktail and you order off the menu, and then you gain 3 pounds. And that never budges. And you're stuck in this exhausting cycle of 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And despite all the effort, the discipline, the pressure, you don't have sustainable results to show for it. This is not a willpower problem. This is a mismatch problem. And this week, I'm going to show you what finally works with your body so you can stop fighting it. This is truly going to be your turning point. The old strategy is not working. And I really need you to hear this differently today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Is that you need a different approach. What worked before will not work going forward. Your body after 35 is not running on the same hormonal software that it used to. So, what used to work for you was cutting calories, cardio, skipping meals, just cutting out some beer. Like I had an Instagram reel that was about your husband cut out beer and lost 10 pounds. Well, that probably could have happened to you as well when you were in your 20s. But now, when we try to, I mean, cutting out beer is always good. But when we try to cut a bunch of calories, we add in a whole bunch more cardio, we start skipping meals. Now, what this does is that it triggers more stress, and that will trigger more fat storage and more burnout. The advice that you've been following wasn't designed for you. It was built around male biology, younger women, and quick fixes, AKA people who lose weight easily. And I say this in the most loving way is that that is not you anymore. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. It's just different. When you know it's just different, it feels far less scary. It feels far less foreign and like it would never be able to happen for you, right? If you know it's just different and you just need to do a couple things differently, you can inevitably get your result. When your body is not responding the way you're used to, cutting calories, doing more cardio, it's very easy to blame yourself. But it's actually your body doing its job perfectly. It's doing its job perfectly based on the inputs it's been given. And that's why I'm going to show you a completely different approach because the strategy has to change when your hormones do. I want to give you a quick visual so that it really lands. I love analogies. So trying to lose weight after 35 with old strategies is like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't fit. It's maddening, right? Like when you're like your 9-month old finally gets to like put the blocks in the holes and they just get so mad that the block won't go in the hole. And it's like, well, you're trying to fit a star into a circle. That doesn't work yet. They haven't quite figured that out, but it's maddening for them that the thing just won't go in the hole, right? Or it's like taking premium gasoline, which is expensive and supposedly works better. But you put it in a diesel engine, it doesn't work so great anymore. You're using high effort, high discipline methods, but the fuel doesn't match the engine anymore. So the car isn't going to run and you're probably going to blow up the engine. Or you get you're following a map of New York while you're trying to navigate Paris. You might find a landmark or two if you stumble upon them, but you're going to feel very lost and frustrated. And you're completely missing the beauty of Paris by being frustrated with a map of New York. This is why what used to work doesn't work anymore. Can you see how that makes sense for you now? It's not because you failed. It's because the tools you were given were never meant for your body at this stage. And that's what we're here to fix. So this is where everything shifts for you. You've been told more willpower, more discipline, or you've maybe even thought, what's the point? I remember my mom getting to this point in her life, and she just threw her hands up and said, this is how it's supposed to be. And maybe you've been telling yourself that as well. You get to a certain age and nothing works anymore, and you should just accept it. But that is not the truth. All you need is actual strategy that matches your current hormonal reality, one that honors your body instead of battling it. And that's why I named this series the Inevitable Weight Loss Series. For one, I know that you have lacked a lot, or you do lack a lot of belief that anything will work for you anymore because you've tried everything. You've tried it all very well and it didn't work. When your body is set up to respond predictably, consistently, and without burnout, when your nutrition, your rhythm, and your mindset are aligned, when you stop pushing and start partnering with your body, weight loss isn't just possible anymore. It's certain. And when it's certain, you believe. Because the truth is that I can give you all of the information in the world this week and still stay stuck if you don't believe it will work for you. And belief, which is what we will talk about on Thursday, is the real catalyst that you are missing. This isn't some regurgitated internet advice or a recycled program out there. This is a proven system and one I've built through lived experience, real data, and hundreds of clients' results. It's for the women who have been told your labs are normal, your body is fine, just eat less and move more. And you've done it all, and you've probably worked harder than most people will ever understand. And it still hasn't worked. You still don't have your result. But what you need is your power back. This is about leadership over your body because it's yours. And it's time that you felt at home in your body again. When you believe it's inevitable, it will happen. Not just possible, definitely not hope, and absolute no doubt inevitable. This isn't about finding a diet that works temporarily. This is about discovering your body's unique hormonal blueprint that makes weight loss not just possible, but absolutely inevitable. And I forgot to tell you who I am. I'm Melissa, and I'm actually a registered nurse, and I am now turned a full-time functional health and women's weight loss coach. And what you should know is that I have actually been where you are today. I started as a weight loss coach many years ago, and when weight loss was easy and simple. And I myself went through a weight loss resistance hormonal imbalance issue. I came from a nursing job that was high stress and very toxic work environment. I was always stressed. I then went full time into entrepreneurship, talking about one stressor into another. And then it was COVID, and I got COVID after COVID happened, and I lost a lot of my hair. I didn't sleep well, and my nervous system was fried. And despite my great habits of eating clean and lifting the weights and doing everything right, because I knew all the right things, my body started to do what it wanted to do, and that was to protect me. And that looked like weight gain seemed like thin air at times. And it just kept happening, going up and up and up. My pants were tighter and tighter and tighter. Soon I was buying different size clothes, and it was very confusing for me, someone who thought she understood the depth of weight loss for women. So I started asking questions, and not only of myself, but for my future clients and also clients that I was working with. And I would ask myself, why are they eating so little? And also myself, and still gaining weight? Why can you push so hard in your workouts and never get stronger? And I saw that for myself. I knew the weights I was lifting. I knew that I was going in with intention. I knew I was doing the right things, and I never got stronger. In fact, I got weaker. How can you be utterly exhausted? 4 p.m. can hardly lift my feet off the floor. And now I've got to make dinner for children who are crying and screaming or unhappy with me. And that pure exhaustion that you feel. And then at night, you can't sleep. And why do you sometimes know what to do, but you just don't do it? Why does it feel so hard? Well, here's what I know with absolute clarity now is that you've been told that you feel bad because of your weight, right? It's so easy to blame weight as to why you feel bad. But the truth is that you feel bad because your body is stressed, it's inflamed, and it's misunderstood. When you heal your stress and your relationship with your body, weight loss becomes a natural side effect. And not the kind that you gain back, because we don't necessarily want that back. It's the kind that stays off because you feel like yourself again. And that's what I do through my Mindfully Well coaching program, which I'll tell you about more over the next few evenings. And also at the end, I'll have a special invitation for you to come into the program. But I want you to know that this is never about restriction. This is truly about rebuilding. And your body can absolutely become a place that you feel at home again. So, have you ever asked yourself, why does this feel so hard now? It didn't feel hard before. And even like I know the fact that it feels hard because you're not seeing the results, but also just the actions feel so hard. Why are you gaining out or why are you gaining weight when you're eating clean or working out? Why are there sugar cravings there all of the time? Why am I so tired no matter what I do? I thrive on sugar, I thrive on caffeine just to get through the day. What I want you to know is that you haven't lost your edge. You aren't lazy now. You're biologically different than you were before. I can say for certain for myself is that I did bodybuilding for a while. So you have to be very regimented. You have to weigh every single morsel. You have to do a lot of workouts. You have to do a lot of cardio. And I never had a problem with motivation and discipline and following through. And now that I'm reaching midlife, those things are harder to tap into. And if you resonate with like the actions just feel harder, I want you to know you're not alone. It's not your fault that it feels this way. You're not lazy. You're not lacking discipline. I see this all the time with smart, capable women who are doing their best, but their strategy is out of sync with your biology. And the good news is that you don't actually have to try harder. You don't have to find more willpower. You don't have to find more discipline. What we want to do is we want to talk about I think I missed a slide. Hold on a second. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when nutrition is not strategic. So let's move into the nutrition pillar here. So this is what it looks like for most people day in and day out because we're lacking the that motivation, that interest, that desire to want to follow through, right? So this is what it looks like. You skip breakfast thinking if I skip a meal, that's good because it's going to help me lose weight. And I also heard fasting was good, right? But really, what you've done here is that you've just delayed your metabolism, creating energy for you, and you've created some cortisol issues. And then by 3 p.m., because you've been skipping meals, you have some lunch, by 3 p.m., you're crashing because you probably had an unstable meal at lunch and you're craving sugar or coffee. And at night, you raid the pantry because you're so hungry at night. And this isn't because you're weak, but because your body actually never got what it needed throughout the day to feel safe with the amount of food that comes in. And it says, like, I'm good. We're good here. We don't need to raid the pantry for calories and nutrients. And when you eat less overall, even if you're eating clean, but not enough, your body will not burn body fat. It will store it because it doesn't think that you have access to food. Your body is intelligent, and its only job is to keep you alive and to scan your environment for safety. Nutrition is the number one way to show your body it's safe. When you keep highly nutritious and enough nutrition away from your body thinks she's not safe. Keep energy, AKA body fat, on her. Body fat is your most precious resource. It's the fuel that keeps you going. If your body thinks there isn't fuel coming in, it doesn't create the fuel out. I know that you've seen online over and over again, calories in and calories out is all that matters. This is true. This is how we lose weight, even after 35. But what they're not telling you is that your body is in complete control over the calorie out, the energy out, the burning of energy. Calorie out is your safety system. So, how do we flip the switch from protection to fat loss when it comes to nutrition? When your body feels unsafe physically or emotionally, it will protect you by holding on to weight. And strategic nutrition is how we help your body feel safe enough to start releasing that body fat. First of all, we want to eat for blood sugar stability. This looks like protein, fat, and fiber. Then we add in our starchy carbohydrates or any sort of carbohydrate, right? This matters because when we do not have balanced meals for blood sugar stability, so that means we have protein, we have your fat, we have your fiber, it's a well-balanced meal with our carbohydrates, then our carbohydrates are absorbed slowly into our bloodstream. When this does not happen, blood sugar will spike up from too many carbohydrates or eating carbohydrates alone, and it will then release a rush of insulin to lower that blood sugar. And the repeated spikes up and the coming of down with insulin over and over tells your body to store body fat. When we pair protein, fat, and fiber, it will slow the absorption of those carbohydrates, which will keep your blood sugar stable. This also does something very important, and it keeps your cortisol stable as well. We don't want messages to your cortisol saying there's no sugar here, there's a whole bunch of sugar here. There's no sugar here, there's a whole bunch of sugar here. Because cortisol will then mimic that pattern, up and down, up and down. And when cortisol is up and down and up and down, what does that tell your body? We are stressed. And here's another thing is that if you feel like you lack motivation or discipline, is that when your blood sugar is stable, it also stabilizes your mood and your energy, which is essential for your consistency and your mindset work. We often think we've lost our edge when it comes to committing, but it's very likely you're living in an unstable blood sugar environment. And I know that this is true for the far majority of you here today, because that's how most of my clients come in, but also that's how we live in the United States, is that we live in a very unstable blood sugar environment, which is why we are inundated with a lot of metabolic health issues. It makes sense now, right? The second thing is that we need to prioritize nutrient density. Your body isn't necessarily counting calories, it's counting nutrients. It's taking the information from the nutrients that you're feeding your body and deciding what that means. And here's why it matters hormonally. Your metabolism is nutrient driven. Hormones are built from protein and from fats and from micronutrients like zinc and B vitamins and magnesium. So if you're low in the amount of nutrients your body is getting in, your body can't make the hormones it needs, especially things like thyroid hormone, which is your metabolism queen, your estrogen and your progesterone, and also then your testosterone. That means your metabolism slows, your recovery stalls, and you stay in a protective low energy state. Think of your food as your raw material your body uses to function well. And then second, you need enough calories. Undereating breaks down muscle, which will slow down your metabolism and keeps your body in that survival and the saving of body fat mode. Chronic undereating tells your brain there's not enough here to support life. So your body will shift into protection, low energy states, hold on to body fat, lower her perception of energy so she feels tired. It reduces your thyroid hormone production, which we know that creates a lot of what our metabolism is. Also, even if your thyroid labs are normal, that doesn't mean your thyroid is functioning well. It also increases cortisol, which will conserve energy and also break down muscle. And then it lowers hormone production like estrogen and progesterone, because guess what? They're not actually essential for survival. Your body cares about keeping you alive. It doesn't care about your hormonal balance. It doesn't care if you have enough estrogen, progesterone, or testosterone. It just wants to keep you alive and breathing and functioning. And instead of burning body fat, your body starts storing it and breaking down muscle. And that's why eating less stops working. You have been eating less for likely decades at this point. Of course, your body is holding on to body fat. But what happens when you eat strategically? Your blood sugar and your cortisol calm down. Cortisol is the queen of hormonal balance. Estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, the ones we think rule the show, actually are responding to your cortisol and to the other hormone I just talked about, your insulin, right? That is a direct reflection of your nutrition throughout the day. Do not dismiss how important it is to fuel your body well. Your body will shift out of protection and into healing when you do this strategically. You will create hormonal balance. You will create energy, and you'll be able to have muscle on your body so you can move well at all ages of your life. And fat loss becomes inevitable because your body finally feels safe to let it go. Eat less, move more worked in your 20s because your hormones were completely different. And you were also naturally resilient because your hormones were protecting you. And now that same advice leads to burnout, muscle loss, fat storage, because you have naturally lost the resiliency that you once had. Now you are in charge of building resiliency yourself. Your muscle is your metabolic engine. If you don't feed it, you lose it. If you don't purposely protect it, you lose it. So the goal isn't to restrict more anymore. It's to nourish more strategically in a way that balances your blood sugar so that your hormones respond appropriately. Inside Mindfully Well, we go deeper into what your body's trying to tell you so you can finally work with your hormones and rhythms instead of against them. So imagine this instead. You wake up with real hunger. How many of you haven't felt hungry for breakfast and you don't remember how long? You wake up hungry. You wake up interested in eating because your metabolism is actually on. It's firing and it's functioning. You feel calm, steady, and clear and not desperate for caffeine or sugar to push through the day. You actually eat dinner and feel satisfied, and you don't need to go to the pantry for anything else. You go to sleep and you wake up rested. This is what happens when your body feels safe. And when your body feels safe, it lets go of body fat. This is my client, Amanda. At 35, she was in the thick of it, working full-time in healthcare, raising 3 young boys, and running on empty. She was doing all the right things, trying to eat well, exercise, manage her stress, but her body wasn't responding. She was inflamed, she was exhausted, and she was stuck in a cycle of gaining weight despite trying very hard. So we took a different approach. We actually increased her food strategically, and she started losing weight immediately. That's a sign that her body felt safe with more food. We added strength training in with actual rest days and not punishing herself with workouts. And we worked on her cortisol patterns and her stress so she could finally sleep at night. And the result? As of today, she's 60 plus pounds lost. She has steady energy, no more afternoon crashes, and most importantly, her confidence is back. And her favorite part, actually my favorite part, is that her son said to her, "Mom, you just seem happier." And that's the stuff that really counts. And that's when you know that it's really working. This is the first pillar of inevitability. Nutrition isn't just about what you eat, it's about how and when you eat and whether your body believes it's safe to burn body fat or store it. That's it. It simplifies it so much more than all the other stuff and fluff out there. And it actually works. And once that shift happens, the results stop being random and start becoming inevitable. All right. I have got some comments here. Okay. So if you are still here live with me, look at that, 7:10. If you're here live with me, you get a chance to win a free audit from me. And all you need to do is comment shift that you felt today and or comment the shift that you felt today. What has really been the powerful shift for you on what I talked about today? Because that gives me great feedback as well. So it's a wonderful give and take on what the shift is that you felt. I'm going to stop sharing this so that I can actually see what I'm doing here. And then I will choose a winner for the audit. And then if you're in the Facebook group, make sure to look for your prompt after this. All right, what do we got here? We have, I agree with most of these items. Definitely me on how are you feeling in your body, can relate. Good. I'm not keeping my body safe by the diets I have tried. Absolutely. And I also want you to give yourself a little bit of compassion there with that, is that that was what you were fed as what to do, right? Like this is how you lose weight. So just like see yourself with compassion and self-love, and not that you were like sabotaging yourself or doing something inherently wrong. It's just that now you can see that it's time to do something different. Okay, we got lots of that's me's, that's me's. Okay, awesome. Hormone shifting and ensuring I eat enough food. You must eat to lose weight. Here's one thing I'm going to say about that, because I know I drove that home tonight. You have to eat to lose weight. Is that now you'll go out after and you'll start to think, well, I should eat more. And what will happen is that you'll feel very scared because you have already ate less and not lost weight. And sometimes you eat less and you gain weight. So what's the common sense thing that tells you is if you eat more, you'll gain weight. Now, the thing isn't that you go out and you just eat anything, right? You want to make sure that these are highly nutritious meals, that you are eating whole foods in their most natural state. We're not eating processed foods to get more calories in. We're eating nutrients, whole foods, right? What is the information we're telling our body? We have access to healthy foods or we have access to Twinkies. Now, I know you're not going out there eating Twinkies, but you know, a lot of the health foods out there that are packaged and say something on them about being healthy is that sometimes you can compare those ingredients to things that you definitely know are not healthy and they're questionable. So I want you to think whole foods. What is this telling my body? Is it telling my body I live in a safe environment with enough food and things are good here? Or is it telling your body, I'm not really sure why we're eating foods that are not meant to be consumed by humans, right? So start really getting really curious about the foods that you're eating. Hormone shift, eating at appropriate times. I'm never hungry when I wake and it's hard to eat. Yes, Sandy, totally normal. I say this in the most loving way, do it anyway. Start with a smoothie, and that is the easiest thing that you can start to consume because it's you drink it, you take it with you. It's a little more gentle on your stomach as you start to get your digestive system up and running. Your body's not used to eating at that time of day either. So you don't have a lot of digestive capability going on. But once you start eating and you slowly start consuming food at that time of day, your body will start to realize, oh, we eat now. Okay. And it will start to turn on. Making sure you're eating enough food, allowing your body to feel safe, managing cortisol so my body can be great, wonderful. What to fuel my body, hormones. And I'm not the only one going through this. Yes. Just because they say my thyroid is fine doesn't mean it's functioning correctly, correct? And my body isn't the same as it used to be. How important nutrients are to keeping my body safe. Yes, these are so good. Yes. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Okay, I think we have some questions here too. I had a hysterectomy 23 years ago. How can I get my hormones balanced? So specifically, you want to just follow the series because I'm talking about food tonight. So remember what I said that um, cortisol and insulin are the queens to how your hormones are balanced thereafter. So what can you control? You can control your insulin because that is based on the food you're consuming. You can control your cortisol because that's based on the amount of stress your body is perceiving. That's where you go for hormonal balance now. And then my thyroid was irradiated, and now I take levothyroxine labs. I'll say good, but I still feel sluggish and all the time. So I would definitely want to know, get curious about all of your thyroid labs. So it's pretty normal. And I don't know if your doctor's drawing T4, T3, reverse T3 as well, because those are important to know on how well your thyroid hormones are being converted. Because you can take T4, but that doesn't mean that your body's actually converting it into a usable form of thyroid. And then not eating. Oh, and that must be what your comment was. Okay. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? If you do, I'm going to stay on here for just a bit longer and answer any questions. Let's see here. I better read these quick to make sure that I'm not missing a question. I think these are all comments. So tomorrow we're going to talk more about hormones. We're going to go a little bit deeper into hormones, and we're going to talk about circadian rhythm. So, and this also goes with some meal timing and exposure to the sun. This all works with cortisol. So we talked about the queen of hormones, insulin and cortisol, and you have control over those. And so that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow night. So make sure and come again, 6:30 Central Standard Time. Thyroid levels that you want to request to be checked is TSH, T4, T3, reverse T3, and thyroid antibodies. So, or you can just say a full thyroid panel. But not all doctors are willing to draw those. So sometimes you have to go to a functional provider to have those done. It just kind of depends on your doctor if they are willing to do a full thyroid panel or not. Okay. Oh, Carrie, I seem to have excess fat, even doing all the right things. So sometimes something must be off with my hormones. Looking forward to learning more. Oh, okay. That wasn't a specific question. Good. All right. I think that's all. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. Because I'm done early and I wanted to be done early so I can let you guys go. So instead of me just sitting on here, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you tomorrow evening for, oh, do I have a good resource for insulin resistance? Just purchase the CGM and putting it on tomorrow. So blood sugar stability is the biggest thing. So what I talked about, get your protein in, your fat, your fiber, and eat your carbohydrates with that. We don't want to cut out carbohydrates. We want to make sure our carbohydrates are balanced with our protein, fat, and our fiber. That's exactly how you have blood sugar stability. It sounds like it should be more complex. It's not. That's really how it is. And then the Facebook group is, I don't think you can search it because it's private. So I will put it in the replay that you'll get here shortly. Also, just FYI, it is also in the initial email that you got when you signed up, but you might not have that anymore. And so I will add that to the replay. So once I have this downloaded and then re-uploaded, I'll have the link in there and you can join from there. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow night. Super excited to see you again. We're going to talk all about hormones and cortisol and how that plays over into your fat loss. Have a fantastic evening.